Welcome back to another UCL Fantasy Premier League video. Today we're going to be discussing my favourite transfers going into Matchday 2 and beyond that as well. I've got 6 players here. I've got 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 forwards. They're not like the obvious players who everybody's got, because that would just be boring if I just said all the obvious ones. But these are picks that I'm strongly considering for my team, and some players I already have as well, which I think are definitely ones to consider at least. If you are a fan of UCL fantasy content, do drop a like on this video and do subscribe to this channel as well, because this channel has loads and loads of UCL fantasy videos, so do subscribe down below. Okay then, so starting off as our first player, we've gone for Acerbi of Inter Milan. Now Inter Milan kept a clean sheet against Man City, and the next 2 fixtures this is mainly for are really, really nice for Acerbi. They've got, I think that's Red Star Belgrade. I think they've got there in the second game, which is the next game that they've got, and then Young Boys as well in Matchday 3. So 2 really good fixtures in a row there, and Inter Milan are pretty solid at the back, especially against Man City in that game. They were very, very impressive, and I really do back them for at least 1 clean sheet, but you'd really be hoping for 2 clean sheets. And Acerbi is only 4.5 million as well, only 2% ownership, and he got a ball recovery point as well last game. And just overall, for a cheap price, I think he's a very good pick over the next couple of game weeks. You could maybe go for a different Inter Milan defender if you wanted to. There's a few other ones higher price, kind of wing backs, but there is a bit of rotation that happens between Inter Milan there. But Acerbi, he's in the middle of that back 3 and he's absolutely nailed on. So for me, for that price as well, Acerbi for me is the Inter Milan player that I'd go for. Maybe Sommer in goal as well if he wants to make a goalkeeper transfer, but for me, Acerbi is the transfer for me. Moving on to our second defender now, is a little bit more of a risky pick, but it has a big reward for it, I feel. It's Rico Lewis. Now, there has been a few injuries to Man City. Nathan Ake knows to be getting injured, as well as Rodri. Rico Lewis did play at the weekend in a central midfield position. There is a lot more pressure on him, and he's going to get a lot more minutes, you'd think, over the course of the season. So obviously it's a risk because we don't know whether he is going to start or not, but there's no denying that he is a great option for for every single game pretty much, but bar a couple for Man City. But the next run of fixtures against Bratislava in the next game, then they've got another easy game, then Sporting, then Feyenoord, then Juventus. They're all clean sheet. They're all games where you'd hope and almost expect Man City to keep a clean sheet. Maybe not against Sporting and Juve, but you wouldn't be surprised if they kept clean sheets in that game. And Rico Lewis only being 4.5 million, again very, very cheap. And if he is starting for Man City, what an option. Another one that I've not got in this video that I was considering strongly putting in this video is actually Tsimikas of Liverpool. Now, he played game week 1 in the Champions League, and I think he'll play game week 2 as well, and he's got Bologna at home. So that's another one to consider maybe if you're looking for kind of another cheap defensive option like I've got here. I've recommended Rico Lewis. Tsimikas as well, quite a lot, but I just slightly prefer Rico Lewis. And then I also recommend Acerbi as well. So I think there's 3 really good 4.5 million defenders there that have got high potential of a clean sheet. And with Rico Lewis and Tsimikas, if you wanted to go for them, they have got a bit of attacking potential as well. And now moving on to our first midfielder of the 2 that we're recommending. I'm going to go for Raphinha, and this is like, I mean, he is quite highly owned, 14%. It's not a massive amount, but I think he's a really good transfer in this week. 7.5 million to me seems underpriced. He started the season on absolute fire for Barcelona, bagging goals left, right and centre. Yet to do anything in the Champions League, but Barcelona did have 10 men against Monaco, so you can't really count that. And I'm saying 3 of the next 4 are very, very good. Raphinha is one that I'm strongly considering bringing into my team. He's got Young Boys next, buying in game week 3, but for me personally, I'm probably going to use Limitless next week, which means that it doesn't matter to me. And then after that, Red Star Belgrade and then Brest. So that's 3 really good fixtures in the next 4 games of Barcelona. And Raphinha, as I say, start the season on absolute fire. Still very cheap at 7.5 million. So I think he's a good option. For my team personally, I'd have to get rid of Kimmich to bring him in, which I'm not 100% sure on, because Kimmich done really well in the Champions League in the past in terms of points. So it is a bit of a risky move if I was to do that. But Raphinha is definitely one that I'm strongly considering. And as I say, 7.5 million looks amazing value in that Barcelona team, which has started the season very, very strongly this season. Moving on to our next midfielder now is someone that I am baffled is only 11% owned. When you look at the value he provides at 6.5 million, it's Michael Olise. Now, I know Bayern's fixtures aren't the best coming up. It is Aston Villa next, Barcelona, Benfica and PSG. But saying that, I think there's goals in it for Bayern Munich against Aston Villa. Aston Villa haven't kept a clean sheet all season in the Premier League this season. So they did keep a clean sheet in the Champions League, but that was one match out of all the matches they played. Premier League couldn't keep a clean sheet. and they are playing against Bayern Munich, and you know how good Bayern's attack is. We saw in game week when match day 1 how good that attack was and how well Olise did himself. And as I say, Villa I think can be got at defensively, and Michael Olise is such a good player. I wouldn't even mind about the fixture. It wouldn't put me off. I mean, when he's at 6.5 million, it looks like it's just so low. He's so low price. It is just unbelievable in my opinion. And then after that, beyond that, he's got Barcelona, which Barcelona, despite starting the season really well, Barcelona defensively haven't been solid. I think it's fair to say they have conceded goals. And again, you're playing against Bayern Munich if you're Barcelona, and Bayern Munich's attack is just an absolute joke when you're looking at Kane, Musiala, Olise. There's so many players in there which are dangerous. Gnabry as well, Sané. Like, it just keeps going the list. It's an absolute joke that Bayern Munich attack is, and they'll always score goals in my opinion. So the fixtures aren't the best, but for the value, I would really go for... Michael Olise for me is one that you bring in, and if he keeps his starting place, which you'd expect him to do, he's such a great pick. Now moving on to our forwards. This is maybe a bit of a differential shout. It is a big differential shout, but a very, you wouldn't expect me to make a call like this. But Cody Gakpo. Now, he's not really been starting in the league. He started the first Champions League game, did very well against AC Milan. Whenever he's played in any cup competition or the Premier League, whatever, he's always looked good. And I think he'll get the start against Bologna, to be honest. I think Luis Diaz, he did get subbed off after about 70 minutes. So, Luis Diaz could start. This is obviously a very risky pick. But if Gakpo's starting this game against Bologna, I back him to do well. Because the way he started the season, as I say, he's been an absolute fire. 7.5 million. And as I say, if he gets that start, he's a big differential and a big chance for some points. So I really like the shout of Gakpo. We'll have to. It just depends on the team who's with Liverpool, because they have got so many options up there. But if I was to put my neck on the line, I would say that Gakpo will start. And if he is starting, there's absolutely no denying that he's a fantastic option. And beyond that as well, Leverkusen isn't a bad fixture. But before that, Leipzig is a decent fixture. Leverkusen's not a bad fixture in terms of Leverkusen haven't got too many clean sheets this season. Real Madrid not great, but then Girona after that. It's a good run of fixtures in my opinion for Liverpool. Not the greatest run, but it's definitely you'd expect Liverpool to get goals in that set of fixtures in my opinion. And then moving on to my final player that I have gone for, it is Robert Lewandowski. Now, he did blank against Monaco, but as I said before that Barcelona did have 10 men all game, so it's hard to really judge him off that, and we know how good he is, but Lewandowski, he scores goals for fun. And it's them fixtures coming up again, as I said it with Raphinha. If you're not going to get Raphinha, Lewandowski could be the one for you. And it depends, if Kane is out injured, right now he's a doubt. We don't know what's going to happen with Harry Kane and this ankle injury that he's got. The news was quite positive about coming out from Bayern Munich, but if Kane is ruled out, then Lewandowski for me probably would be the one that I'd go to, just based on that fixture against Young Boys, amazing fixture. And then after that, Red Star Belgrade and Brest, obviously Bayern Munich in between that isn't the best, but 3 of the next 4 are like top fixtures for Barcelona, and Barcelona have been scoring goals for fun, so I do really like the shout of Lewandowski. Obviously, you've already got players like Yamal, who most people already probably have in their team, but maybe doubling up on that Barcelona attack with either a Raphinha or Lewandowski, I think is a really intelligent and smart thing to do, just based on those fixtures alone. So let me know what you think of those shouts in the comments. Let me know who you think I've missed out in the comment section down below, because I'm sure there's a lot of options. There's so many options in UCL Fantasy, but I do really like them options for me personally. So if you don't mind dropping a like on the video as well, it'll be very much appreciated. It takes 1 second to drop a like, and as I say, it would mean a lot to me. And do subscribe to the channel as well if you like to see weekly and quite a few videos a week of UCL fantasy content. Then this is definitely the place to be for you. So do subscribe, very much appreciated. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.